So this is month 2, I'm starting stage 3 for Robi Robot. These were the binders that they gave me in the first box to put the instruction manuals, magazines that come with it. I think that's what they were for anyway. Some of this here. I don't know why this is kind of bent. I guess it'll tell me what it has. Anyway, so this is something. Yeah, let's see here. So it's got a little instruction thing how to use this binder. It shows remove 2 pins from the frame. If you can see it, remove 2 pins from the frame, insert 1 pin into the first hole at the top of the binder, second on the bottom, open the magazine at the center, slide behind the plastic pins. Repeat the process with the next magazine issue. So I'll probably do this next video. I'm not going to do this today because I want to try to get onto these. It looks like the binders, these are DeAgostini ones, so they're model space, so it doesn't they're not specific to Robi, but that's what it looks like on the inside. So we will, and each binder has the instructions. I don't know what these are for. I imagine they must be for like writing on, maybe the information. So we'll just put these over here. Well, actually, I don't want them to be in the video now. That I'm going to put them over here. And I'm going to sit on the floor to do the stages because it's a lot easier for me if I sit on the floor to actually see everything. Okay, so we are starting pack 2, stage 3. This is what it looks like. Prepare the neck stand for servo cable. I'm going to set a 30-minute timer. Hey Jibo, set a 30-minute timer for me.
How long should the timer be?
30 minutes.
You got it. 30 minutes.
All right, so prepare the neck stand and first servo cable. The purpose of the timer is so that I don't do it too long. If I'm not past stage 4, I'll stop either at 30 minutes or at the end of stage 4, whichever comes first. In this session, you will be assembling the neck stand that will be used to test Robi's head movement, as well as preparing the first of the servo cables. By the start of pack 2, you will have fitted the first servo that will move Robi's head, and you will test this using the test board supplied with this stage. The neck stand is molded to resemble Robi's upper body and will support his head during the test to give you an accurate image of how the parts will work on completion. You have also received your first servo cable, which you will fit with protective pads ready for use. The test board and other parts supplied will not be used at this stage and should be stored safely until they are needed. Do not remove the test board from its plastic cover. Okay, so your parts are scarf, right shoulder for neck stand, right chest for neck stand, protective pads, 50 pieces, test board, servo cable, and then there are 3 screws, it looks like, M2 x 6 millimeter pan head screws. They didn't give extra screws for this one. So this is the pack. I have the other packs here. This is stage 3, stage 4, stage 5, and stage 6, I believe. I also have the parts from the prior time because I'll need them. It's either at stage 4 or stage 5. So these are the parts that we assembled for stages 1 and 2. Okay, so I'm going to open this up. Looks like they've got multiple stuff. This one is the board that's I have to be very careful with. It's a cable. Make sure I don't have anything left there. Okay. Trying to find the opening to this. It doesn't look like that one opens the same way. So I'm gonna have to actually tear it. I'm gonna use the screwdriver. That is the screwdriver used for everything. Whenever there's a screw. Okay. Got multiple of these, whatever these sheets say. These items are not toys. The product is part of an assembly kit intended for adults. Okay, so that's understandable. They made sure to wrap each of these. Would have been nice if it had been like stages 1 and 2 where they were in a little plastic thing. Then I wouldn't have to unwrap so many things. But, you know, you end up with what you end up. So making sure we got all the parts. This is part 1. This is part 2. This is part 3. Looks like part 3 and 4. And this is 6 and 5. And it looks like the screws are here. So that's 7. And so 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7. So this one I gotta be careful with. This has got the screws in it. Okay. Part 4 is the protective pads. So tiny, tiny pads. They're kind of bent a little. So hopefully they're okay though. Now open each part. Actually gonna keep the board because I don't think I do anything with the board this time. Yeah, it doesn't look like I do anything with the neck piece, the board, and then what is this? Oh, these other pads. Well, we'll be using the pads though, I think, for something. So we're just gonna keep the parts we need. I'm not gonna unwrap the ones that I don't need. But again, I think I have to use the pads at some point here. These pads. Okay. Okay, hold the right shoulder next to the right chest, as shown, to see where the parts will fit. The 2 vertically aligned holes on the smooth side of the chest will line up with the corresponding pair on the inside of the shoulder. Hold the parts together so that the holes align. Check from the inside of the chest to get a better view of the paired holes. And then obviously you screw them together. So it looks like, I'm going to take my glasses off here in a moment after I figure out for certain. It looks like you hold the chest this way. And then it's this way. Looks like it's like that. Okay. Okay, so we got that. And where did I put the screws? Not certain where the screws went, which is not surprising with me. I know the screws were here somewhere. They were with this one piece. So apparently I dropped them when I opened it up. I do have extra screws, so if I can't find them, we'll have the extra screws. So I'll just get my extra screws and then try to find where I missed the other screws, because it was just a little bag. So that's unfortunate. This is the way things go, you know, when you're not paying enough attention. I don't think it was part of the neck piece. Definitely not. Okay, so I'll get the extra 2 screws. At least for the 2 screws, it should be enough. That I have. I should have went ahead and brought them out just in case I needed them, because you never know when you might need extra screws. I think they're the same size as the the other ones. Let me look a second though. I can't believe that I've lost the screws somehow. That was like not believable on my part that I would be that good at losing them already. Let me check again here. Sorry. Really sorry. Definitely not seeing. Okay, well, I really hope that these are the right size. It says pan head screws. I don't see why they would be the wrong size, so we're just gonna hope that that's correct. And then I guess once I get it together, then I will, I'm gonna move this over a second. And then we'll try to stop the video and find it and start it again, because I definitely don't want to continue having a problem here on the video. So let's do the putting together part. Put this over here because I want to look at the picture again and realign it. So it's like this and this. It's not going to be easy to see where the holes are. I think that they're hopefully the right length. It looks like these should be okay, I hope. Go ahead and thread them through them. And of course, the same thing that happened to me that other time. But if I thread them through this first, I think it should be okay. Really can't believe that I lost those screws. Okay. Trying to get it into these little holes, and then into the other. So yeah, I'm sure I'm going to exceed the 30 minutes because of my goofiness on losing the screws and having to try to find them. Okay. Take these off so that I can see, and then try my best to get these within the holes of the, I think if I hold on to it, it should be okay. It's not easy at all here, frankly, because of the black of the screw. That one, just slightly going to tighten it. Okay, this one, there we go. Oh, the second one's actually easier. So this wasn't that bad. I just hope I don't actually need a third screw, which I probably do, and so I'm going to have to, like I said, if that ends up being the case, I'll stop it and start it again once I find those screws. Or maybe look back at the video and see where I dropped them. Okay, so it looks like it's supposed to, like this. Magazine shows it, and then the next part is sealing the servo cable. So we're gonna put this over to the side so that we don't have any problem with it, losing it. Okay, the sealing the servo cable. Inspect the connectors on either end of the servo cable. You will see that they are different on each side. You will apply the protective pads to the side with push marked on it. And so this is the servo cable. Thankfully I didn't lose it. Be very careful opening this. Okay, put that down here. Alrighty, so it's very tiny, this, if it says it. Okay, that says push. Does the other side say the same thing? Okay, let me look at this again. Inspect the connectors at either end. You will see that they are different on each side. You will apply the protective pad to the side with push marked on it. So I can see which side says push marked on it. Using tweezers, carefully peel a protective pad from the sheet. So I have to go get tweezers. Fun times. So let me go get the tweezers. I had thought I'd read these ahead of time, but I totally forgot about the tweezer thing. I'm going around so that I don't cause problems for the components. Have them in my vanity. Other room. Okay. And then this is the screws from last time. Plastic. Okay, so we get the tweezers, peel a protective pad from the sheet, and I can't recall if I showed this to you. So this is the section we're on. Holding the servo cable vertically with the side mark push facing you. Carefully pair it with the protective pad. Press the two together firmly between your finger and thumb to seal the connector. Once you've done this, repeat steps 7 and 9 to seal the servo's other connector. And it says the protective pad should be set centrally and not extend beyond the tip of the connector. So it should be central, not extend beyond the tip. And then that will be, once I've done that, the first parts of the next stand are complete and your first servo cable is ready for use. Remember to store the unused parts safely until they're needed. Do not remove the test board from its sealed plastic cover, and be sure to keep all the protective pads as they will be needed throughout the building process. Since there's like 30 of them or 60 of them, something like that. I can't remember how many they said. 50 pieces. Okay, so we'll move this over, and then once I finish this, that'll be stage 3, and I'm going to stop it. So that I can find those screws. Thankfully I only needed 2 and I had 2 from last time. Okay, I don't know why I needed the tweezers, frankly. Looks to me like my finger would do better than these tweezers. That's what I think. So tweezers were not even needed, although maybe the tweezers are needed. Yeah, maybe to put it on. Okay. So I see which side say push. Let me look at the picture again, because these look a little, I'm dropping things. These look a little too big. So I'm going to look at the picture again. Okay, I see. They are too big, but that's okay. Basically, I just need to make sure that I don't extend beyond the top. Looks pretty decent. Looks like it's pretty decent. So we'll do that once again. Basically it looks like that. It's probably very not so easy to see, but I'll show it at the end since I'm gonna have to get up to shut off the video anyway. Slightly above top. Okay, so I got that one on too. It's not quite as good as the other one was done. And then I'm going to stop it, look for the screws that I lost. I'm always having problems with those. They're so tiny. So I'll stop it, do stage 4, maybe 5 together. So this is what the what that looks like. Very, very tiny protective pads. All right, talk to you in a bit.